Hey guys, hope you guys are all having a great day. I haven't done this topic in a long time, so I'm actually going to break off and do kind of an elongated weekly Wednesday tips. And we're also going to save this video for some training tools. But this is the basics of what we do. So this week's tips are basically going to be how to share and start those people around you. It's a great review for all of us as we continue to share and do the do every single day. But it's also probably the most important thing you can tap into and get really good at as a new coach and you learn your craft. So that's what we're going to cover today, which is how to do the do of what health coaching is all about. So let me just give you guys kind of a quick overview. And this is the most important thing before we even jump into the actual topic is there are only three main areas to focus on as a health coach. And this should only really take you between 3 to 10 hours a week. And I want to preface that I'm talking about basically supporting clients at an executive director level or higher. So making a really good income with Take Shape for Life and running a successful health coaching practice or building one if you're within your first few months. So the first few things that we only do with health coaching, it's very simple. You want to take a step back and always make sure that this is what you're focusing on. But is we share the program and we follow up with people. We sign up and support our clients, and then we create referrals and possibly develop coaches. It's basically a quick system, and this is what we do day in, day out, and that's how you, support a lot of clients to get healthy. That's how you build a successful health coaching practice, and that's how you also build a huge business of a lot of people getting healthy over time by taking this one day at a time. So one thing that we want to review before, again, we jump into the simple systems of sharing and starting people is making sure you have all your simple systems in check. Do you have your file folder system set up? Again, this is tailored toward new coaches. If you don't have it set up yet, again, not the biggest deal in the world because the biggest time that you want to be, or the biggest amount of time should be spent sharing with people. So, but as you're starting more clients or people are getting ready to go, do you have your file folders out? Do you have copies of client tracking sheets? Do you possibly have it 3-hole punch so that you're ready to take on those new clients and support them with success and help them be successful so you start to get referrals down the line and all of those in between? Do you have a client check-in day set up? Or more importantly, just a schedule to your week so that you actually have a flow to the work that you're doing and can continue to do the do and help you have high leverage activities. Do you have a get healthy list? So a list of all the people that you want to help with this program. And I got to stress, this is the most important thing you're going to want to have as you're getting started is a strong list that you have. And this is exactly how Ashley and I got started, is a list of all the people we want to help or talk to about this program, or we want to make sure they know what we can do because they have influence on other people. And then literally just going off and crossing off the list of all the people on that list. Do they know what I do? Am I touching base with them? And then circling back with the ones that are interested. This is first and foremost the biggest thing that you'll want to do as a health coach is have a strong list, a list that you add to, a list that you revisit, and a list that you are on purpose to make sure everyone on there is being touched base with and knows what you do, not just a post on Facebook and all the other great things so that they just hopefully reach out to you. It's our job to be on purpose and make that happen because they're not just going to pick up the phone and call you and say, I'm going to get started. Well, they do sometimes, but most of the time it's going to be because of action that we do. And then do you have a game plan of your high leverage activities? Again, this business does not take very much time, but you can weave it into your busy schedule. And I honestly say the busier you are, the better, because that means you're probably in contact with more people. So, throughout the day and throughout the week. So are you set up to talk to 5 people a day? Are you making connections throughout the day? Are you being on purpose on Facebook? Are you doing different things that will add productivity to your day and not take a lot of time? So if you want a list of those things, make sure to reach out to your support team. They'll help you develop your personal HLAs. But just making a point to talk to 5 people a day about program, following up with 5 people a day. It doesn't take very much time, but that's what will move you forward and help people get healthy. As a review, just a real quick thing about what we do with health coaching. If it's good to remember exactly what it is we do, is we just reach out our hand to help those that need help. We need to be there and make sure that they know they can reach out. And then once they do, it's just guiding them on their journey. We don't need to know all the stuff. We're more of just a support and encouragement that they can they can be successful on this simple plan. We don't have to be the plan for them. We just need to support them on achieving and staying focused on all the attributes that this program offers. So I'm going to jump into the actual main topic of tonight, which is tips on how to help people choose health. And it's not tonight, it's this morning, and it's nice and early, but sorry for saying that. I guess I need some coffee this morning, but how to share and start clients. And that's what we're going to be talking about here. So when you're getting started, the most important thing that you want to do is you want to share and connect with those people. I talked about the list and having that written out and just going and crossing off. Like, that's literally what Ashley and I did when I got started, or when we got started. We created a list and we would just be like, boom, we talked to that person. This person reached out to us because of something on Facebook. They know what we do. We were going to see this person at a party on Friday. We're going to talk to this person at work, however that's going to be. But we were on purpose to share and attract people to us with what we have. So, quick stats, it's a numbers game. And I still love that this is true too. Still today, because Brian Drollinger, Presidential Brian Drollinger, which is all part of your support team and ours, he said to us that it's a numbers game. You need to share and be there for people and let them see what's important to you, and they got to see your heart. But 1 in 5 people that you talk with will be pretty much ready to go pretty quickly. So it's a numbers game of, one, developing your skill of how you share with people, but also how many people you talk to. So we're going to jump into that real quick here. And the big important thing is not to verbally vomit on people. So real quick, if you did, or if you have, or you feel like you are, not a big deal. Join the club. I'm the founding member, and I verbally vomited over a lot of people. So just learn these quick little tools on how to share. And I just want to kind of review a few of them real quick. Is one, be excited when you share with people, because people follow people's excitement. That is huge as well. Don't send people to your website. That's not what this is about. So if you've been saying, hey, check out my website, you may want to rethink that. This is really more about sharing with them what it is you're doing and connecting them to you to talk about getting started on programs. So for instance, when I'm sharing with someone, a good share is when you want to be in and out. You want to keep it short, and you want to keep it about, I like to call it, to have tangible things they can grab onto within your store, things that make sense to them, things that they can metabolize in their head, and will say, things that they can say to themselves, wow, I'd want to do that too, and I understand that. So the reason why we don't verbally vomit on people is because there's so much information we can give them about about the information on program. But if we literally give it all to them, we might be here for a couple hours. And also, they just only want to know the things that they want to know. So we want to find out what's important to them and just share our story in a way that creates interest. So I mentioned not sending them to your website. After you do share, you want to make sure you grab their information, like email, phone number. Obviously, a lot of these people, you'll already have it, but make sure you do have their email and phone number so you can follow up with them. Maybe make sure that they're connected to you on Facebook, maybe even on an email list so you can update them, accordingly to how things are going. These are all great things, and you want to make sure you marked it down as a person that is interested in programs so you can revisit that. So I'll get to that a little bit later, but a good share is when you, share your story. And a good way to do it is, this is where I was before. This is what has changed for me. This is how much weight I've lost on a simple program. I feel amazing. The weight loss was easy, and I'm learning habits for a healthy life. To pick and choose whatever is important, but that is a simple way to explain in 30 seconds where you are, where you've gone, and for someone to not get bored with the story, and to know exactly what they are excited about from what you're talking about. It has tangible things that they can grab onto and make sense of in your mind. So, keep working on that skill. I additionally also like the do rule, which is when you talk to someone and they're asking what you do, you say, how people ... Well, I help people with that. How people, when we get really busy with work and get into our careers, we start to let our healthy habits slip and a little extra weight comes on. Well, I help people on a program that assists them to not only lose weight, but also manage that and create healthy habits that they can implement into their life. How some moms have a hard time losing weight after having their kids and want to get their body in shape, but it's just pretty difficult to do? Well, I help people do that. Whatever the case may be, that's just another great way that you can do that. I like sharing your story. Do rule comes up from time to time, but those are a few different ways you can share your story and tips to grab information for follow-up. So you can keep them connected to you and keep sharing with them. Because again, it's all about attracting them to you. But the most important skill that I want to talk to you about today is asking questions. And as you're getting started as a health coach, and again, this is just also a good review for all health coaches. I'm constantly revisiting this for myself, but asking people questions. When you are talking with people, at some point um, they are going to basically lay out an opportunity for you to ask them questions. And, it doesn't really matter what it is, just ask somebody questions, because the person that asks the questions is the person that has the power in a conversation, and you control the conversation. So if you ever feel like you don't know what to say next, ask that person a question. And I talk about having power for a particular reason, because the power that we wield as health coaches is the power to help people organize thoughts in their mind and focus on goals and see how they can be successful on things. And I want to make sure I point that out. Most people can't put two and two together. The biggest thing we do is we help people, take off that fogginess of where they want to go and how that's going to happen. You'd be surprised how some people think about things. And that's what we do to help them. And if you ask the right questions, not only are you going to find out what's important to them, but you're going to have a really easy time with talking with people about program and answering things. Instead of answering their questions, you answer their questions after you know what it is they want. So that would just be like, if you're sharing with someone and they're interested, and you're talking back and forth, getting the questions, talking to you like, oh, what do you think about that? Or do you know anyone who might benefit from that? Sounds like you might be interested. Do you have any particular goals that I might be able to help you with? Or whatever the case may be. I like putting it off on other people. Like when I talk to them, like I like the personally, like, do you know anyone who might be interested type of question, because it takes the focus off that person and they can be a little bit more open with you. So just a few different things. But the most important thing is whenever you're talking to someone, I want you to focus in on this thing. What is the question I can ask in this conversation to start to make it about the person I'm talking to? And if you start with that, it'll make it very simple. Again, that's how you share a story. That's how you start to engage a good conversation. And that's how you have a really good share with somebody. So then let's say that conversation turns into something where that person's interested, or from all your efforts and reaching out or following up, someone reaches out and says, I'd like to know more about your program. So let's take this to a person that wants to know more, either from the conversation you're having or they have reached out to you. So the first words you always want to say, and again, the power of asking questions is, that's fantastic. Tell me a little bit about your goals, because we don't want to go into explaining stuff so they can start to kind of like figure it out in their head, which is kind of hard to do. And I know we've all been there when someone's trying to explain something to you. We kind of stop paying attention because we want to try to understand what it is they're saying and metabolize it. So make it easy for them. Ask them what it is they want to do. When's the last time they had it? What weight do they want to get to? Just different things about their goals. Just start getting them talking about it so it's nice and clear what it is they want. And don't go into explaining program or anything else until you know what that is. I mean, yes, sometimes we do the conversation backwards, but ideally, if things are going well, you're going to do it in this format. And I always like to say is we have two ears and one mouth for a reason, because our ears should be listening and the mouth should be doing very little talking. So don't share what we have until you know it's a fit. As they start to tell you their story, you're going to start to see a picture of what it is their goals are, and it's going to become very real, and you're going to start to see this all come together. And as you continue to ask questions, and this is only like maybe like a 2 or 3 minute process, but it's pretty magnificent what can happen in 2 to 3 minutes, and maybe not even maybe a full minute. But you're going to start to be able to zoom in on their heart and what's important to them and their why. And when you know their why, you can zoom in and talk to it, and it makes it so easy because then you know what their goals are, and most likely our program is a match for it and can help them accomplish that. So I put a little reminder to talk about cost on this one here. So this is vitally important so that when someone jumps in and wants to know more about program, most of the time, or not most of the time, but a big chunk of the time, they'll ask what the cost is. And I want to give you guys some tools on how to navigate this, because you don't want to tell someone the cost up front. And I want to make sure that you understand it's not because we're not boldly proud of what the cost is, but it's also, but it's because we want to be able to explain value. When someone asks cost, they don't understand what it is they're asking the cost of. That's just knowing like what is the diet food is they think they're talking about. They have no idea about the bio network. They have no idea about the support. They have no idea about if they choose to get started on this program, they can reach a healthy weight and live an optimal health life around what matters most. They don't know what's in store for them. So to give them the cost up front, they won't know what the value is. So a good way I handle this, and also because it's very, very, very true, is when someone might barge in and ask about what the cost is, I say, oh, well, let me find out a little bit more about your goals, and then I'll be able to tell you what the cost would be. And just that's also purely true because what if they just want healthy maintenance? What if it's more? What if they want to do like a 7-2 because they're training for some kind of super, triathlon or something? What if they're asking for their nursing mother, or I mean, their mom who's a senior? What if they're asking for their child who's a teen going to go on the teen program? What if they're asking for the nursing mothers program? You just never know. So that's again why we want to help you navigate that. So again, I would say, well, it depends a little bit about your goals. I'd love to connect with you. And again, this is in the conversation. Tell me a little bit about your goals, and we'll kind of go from there. Especially if you get the message on Facebook or just that little email that says what the cost is. Again, I'd love to connect with you on that and tell you a little bit more. I think this program's awesome and it may be a good fit for you. When's a good time? Taking it to the phone is the most important thing. So when you have a solid idea of their goals, that's when you explain program. And I just want to review this real quick on how simple it is and what to do. Because you can get into the 24 vitamins and nutrients, vitamins and minerals. You can get into our program and how well studied it is, but really none of that stuff matters. We can go on for days about that information, but more importantly, we just want to let them know how simple it is. So you eat 5 healthy, nutritious meal replacements a day. You have 1 lean and green. They're very portable, easy to go. And when you follow this easy plan, you get into a fat burning state where you have high energy. It's easy. You have low hunger. You lose 2 to 5 pounds a week. You feel phenomenal. And that's basically how the program works. Again, very tangible things that they can latch onto and understand how I just told you what my goals are. I want to get there from where I'm at right now, and they can see themselves being successful and getting there and understanding what this program is about. So I just want to give you kind of a tangible idea of how this works, like a visualization. So this is Lola Montgomery. This is a client of ours, and we did the same process with her. She got really real with us. And when a person gets really real and we ask them those questions, they start to really understand where they're at right now. That's just kind of how the brain process works. But as you start to ask those questions, they can start to get away from the fact that they just want to lose weight, and they can start seeing where they want to get to. It's okay if they don't see it perfectly, but they can start to formulate an idea. But what also happens naturally is there's little things that come into play and fog up this vision of where they want to get to. And none of these things really matter, but they do confuse people on making the decision to get healthy. And, a lot of this is like, can I do this? Can I do yoga while I'm playing? How am I going to do this at work? What is the cost of the food? What does it taste like? Will this work out for my kids and eating dinner? All these things. I just want to point out that none of this matters. And if you find out what it is that they want and help them see that, you can address those things that come up. As they come up, and just hurdle them and not make them an issue. Then they can just continue to focus on what it is they want and look at getting started on their program. So that's how you explain program. Let me review. So that's how you share. That's the activity that you want to do. That's how you navigate a conversation. That's how you find out what somebody wants, and that's how you explain the program. And then when all their questions are answered, you want to make sure you do this next vital step. And again, I want to point this out because I probably made every mistake in the book, but I was very adamant that I didn't want to force anyone to get on program, which was a silly thought because most people, as soon as I talked to them, wanted to get on program. But what I made a big mistake of in the beginning was I did not give them the opportunity to get started once they were ready. So this is what you want to make sure you do after you have a solid share and all their questions are answered when you're talking to someone about program. Is when you're all said and done, you just say, fantastic. The next thing to do from here is order your program. It's very simple to do. We can do it in 2 minutes if you're ready to get started. So if that's something you'd like to do, we can do that right now or whenever you're ready. I just like to say that because it gives them the next step. And they don't know what the next step is unless you give it to them. They may think there's some elaborate ordering process, but also it takes the pressure off. It's like, no, it's no big deal. If you're ready, if you're not ready right now, we can do it later. It's whenever. It's all about you, and that also makes them very well connected with you because This is not a sale. We don't sell MetaFast. We don't sell our program. We help people get started on it when they're ready. And that's how you also develop a very long-term integrated client that's successful. So, um, if they say yes, then all you have to do is say, where would you like your program shipped to? And what card would you like it on? So we can facilitate the first order. That's all you need to do and take it on, and then you can place their order. And I want to just kind of review what that first order looks like. Generally, we order people the fully integrated variety pack. It's $399.50. It breaks down to $12 a day, which is a phenomenal deal when you think about what people normally spend on food, and then the cost of actually accomplishing goals. I can tell you a lot of people have paid a lot of money just to see weight loss results like we see, plus the support and the connection to our bio network. But this has all their food that they need for more than an entire month. It has all of their program materials so they can learn healthy habits and everything they need. So when we do get to this point, I say, we'll be ordering you a fully integrated variety pack. It's $399.50. And this is what most people order. So that it has everything that you need on program. It has a good variety of all the foods that you want. So I model this, and I got to tell you, 98% of the time, this is what people order, just because people want to do what other people do, if that makes sense. People just follow the pace of what has come before them. So if you lay this out for them, this is most likely what they'll do. And I do lay it out by saying this is what most people do additionally, because if it's not a fit, or you feel like they have reservations about wanting to pick out their food a little bit more, or maybe cost is an issue for a few people, is I can then segue into, well, that's how most people get started. It's not this, or basically, let me revisit this, is that's how most people get started. We can still get you started a little bit differently, and I can just basically assess, like, what's going to be important. So we have other variety packs. If they don't feel like, if they want a little bit more on the go or different things like that, they can also do a custom order. I don't recommend doing that though, because I used to do this all the time, and it was a lot of effort on my part, and it was a lot of effort on the client's part, and it was just a really much longer step before they got started. And really, they still ended up liking most of the food that was in the variety pack anyways. Standard variety packs are about $339, and then you can also just get them started with basic habits of health, like Discover Your Optimal Health book, which is $13.95. So I believe that's a total cost of $353.95 95 is I think that's what the cost is right there, $352.95. And you can just mix and match. It's mostly about getting someone started on their path to getting healthy. So think outside the box and think critically. But like I said, 98% of the time, they're going to order that fully integrated variety pack, and that's how we posture it, and that's what they do. So just in case you were curious on how that works, but I did want to basically get across that there are different ways that people can get healthy. So put on your thinking cap, think critically, and just help someone get started on their road to health. So with all that being said, when someone says yes, but it's, I want to get started, but not right now, like I have a cruise coming up, or I'm going on a vacation, or I have to talk to my husband, whatever the case may be, you always want to leave the next follow-up step. So I always would say something like this. So that's fantastic. I want you to get started whenever you're ready. Gave you a lot of information to think over. Go ahead and take some time. Let me know if you have any more questions as you're thinking, as things are getting ready. Then reach out to me when you're ready to get started. So I'm letting them know the next step, which is contact me when you want to get going. And then I'll also leave it with and this, I just do it depending on, what the conversation was like. But, reach out to me when you're ready, or I'll follow up with you next Wednesday and just touch base with you to see how things are going. That way you're leaving the next step, the follow-up. And then Wednesday happens to be my follow-up day, because I make that day just a time to review all the people I've been talking to and touch base. It's a high leverage activity. So pick a follow-up day. Your day doesn't need to be Wednesday. You can do it on a different day. Like, say if they're pretty interested, you can be like, well, I'll follow up with you tomorrow if they want to get started pretty quickly. But I like to make sure I set that up, and you're leaving the next conversation set up to be, to go very well. So how you do this process is, that's how you share. That's how you collect information. That's how you invite people to join you. That's how you help people figure out goals, and that's how you get them started. You just rinse and repeat that over and over. So that's how it's done. That's what health coaching is all about, and that's how you build a successful Take Shape for Life practice, and that's what you do to help other people do the exact same thing. So that's our weekly Wednesday elongated tip this week. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. I'm going to head off to the gym right now. As you can see, I'm in my sports attire this morning. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Don't forget to practice the basics and do this over and over again. And that's how you become a phenomenal health coach. So have a great day, everybody. Be on purpose. We are in a great place to really dominate this field and have people understand what it's like to live optimal health one person at a time. So reach out, be passionate, and help people get healthy. Hope you guys are having a great day again, and I will chat with you later. Bye.